And yet, why did Priam not return Helen to Menelaus, her husband? So much suffering, so many lives would have been spared. Nothing simple is ever easy. Fear and doubt fester secretly in the hearts of men, condemning their lives into the darkness of guilt. So was Priam guilty of a sin which he hid from all who knew him, until his shameful act reared its dark head and came back to face him and demand retribution. It happened years before the war, when the gods looked favorably upon Troy and showered it with peace and plenty. That year, the altars were kept burning with offerings to the gods. King Priam sought the best bull in the land and offered it as a prize in a tournament. It was a great day. The first day of the end.
Amazing! People of Troy! Alexandros the Shepherd!
Quite a beauty, isn't he?
It's my bull, stolen from my herd.
It's a prize offered by King Priam for the games. Are you saying the king stole it?
His servants did, to keep the gold they were to buy it with. It's my bull.
Well, if you want to get it back, you've got quite a challenge on your hands. That is Deiphobus, Prince of Troy. I hear he's the finest swordsman of Priam's many sons. And Hector, the eldest prince.
Sparring against common men was an easy task, but facing Deiphobus was too much of a risk for Alexandros. Instead of competing for the bull against Troy's champions, the young shepherd untied the ropes holding the beast and pulled it out of the arena. Deiphobus would not stand for this insult and went after the young man. Alexandros fled through the streets of Troy to the altar of Zeus, where he hoped to find sanctuary.
Paris! He is Paris!
What?
The lost son of Priam has returned.
Don't speak to me of my lost son. Your delusions have brought me enough pain already, Cassandra.
He is your son.
Young man, who is your father?
My father was Agelaus, a shepherd, as am I.
Agelaus. He was a valued servant in my court. The man I trusted to take my Paris.
You are the torch which brings fire and death to Troy.
Great king! King Priam!
Father!
Forgive me, O great king. Have mercy. I could not bring myself to do what you asked of me. Have mercy on him. It is I who should be punished for disobeying you, sire.
Never has disobedience been so welcome. It's true. The day you were born, Isakos, the sacred seer, foretold that you would be the ruin of Troy. His words were never false. So I ordered Agelaus to take the child from his crib and end his life. From this moment on, you are a true prince of Troy, my Paris, and none shall ever threaten you again.
So as Paris returned to Priam's household, the Shepherd Prince became known throughout the Troas and was envied for his beauty and strength. It was Aphrodite, goddess of love, who years later drove Paris to Sparta and into Helen's arms, kindling a love that ignited a fire that consumed the world. How could Priam refuse anything his son asked of him? It was with a heavy heart that he welcomed Helen when Paris brought her to Troy. Guilt so easily forces men to act against their own interests. The people of Troy took pause to think, to doubt, to wait. They knew it was only a matter of time, that there was a price to pay for a father's love, a father's guilt towards his forgotten son. They did not wait for long. Helen watched the battle waged in her name and felt the rage against her, same as a dying beast sees vultures circling above it, waiting for their time to feast on its carcass. Likewise did Paris endure the scorn from Greek and Trojan alike. He was not only the cause of all their misery, but also the only hope for their deliverance. This was, after all, his fight, his cause, his battle to win or lose.
Paris, may the gods be with you.
I wish you well, brother.
Menelaus! The last time I saw you, I greeted you as a friend. Today, I meet you as my enemy.
Today, one of us shall fall for the love of Helen. If it is to be you, will you promise that the kings of Greece leave Troy forever?
And if you are the one to grace the gates of Hydas tonight, will Helen be returned to me?
Those are the terms.
So be it!
You have fought for many long years for my honor. Now at last, I will end the war which I started. Aphrodite came to my aid, took me away from the battle. I am saved.
You are. I wonder how many will rejoice.
Is this the honor a Trojan prince shows in a challenge of his own issue? Is this what Helen left me for?
We cannot abandon him. He's our father's son.
It's useless. The gods have already determined our fate.
Years passed, but the walls of Troy stood firm and impregnable. The long stalemate took a toll on the Greeks, hungry for promised treasure and glory. Among them Achilles, the greatest of all warriors, king of the Myrmidones, son of the nymph Thetis. Rather than standing idle under the invincible Trojan walls, he led his men against neighboring towns and cities, which fell to his sword like weeds to a scythe. In 3 years, Achilles conquered 12 cities, which he claimed and plundered, begrudgingly sharing the loot with Agamemnon. Everything changed the day he came to the outskirts of Lyrnessos.
Achilles, look. Lyrnessos. Their warehouses are full of grain.
Let's just take what we need and not dally among farmer.
Look, Achilles. It's Aeneas. Be wary. There stands the son of an Olympian.
Achilles, king of the Myrmidones. Why do you harm the people of this land? They have done you no harm.
They have allied themselves against history. A grievous mistake.
History is yet to be made, Achilles.
Damn you, son of Thetis. May the gods bring you a cruel end.
Run, coward. Your land and its riches are mine. Your lord Aeneas fled from my blade. No one comes to protect you. Your city and everything in it are forfeit.
I will drive you away with my own hands if I must.
A brave man. And a foolish one. I gave him the choice to live. He refused it.
Monster! Damned be the womb that bore you!
Measure your words well, woman. For my mother is a favorite of Zeus.
You shame her! For you are nothing but a murderer of farmers and old men!
I would have spared him had he yielded.
You wield your sword as if it were a beacon of justice, and hide your cruelty under the robe of might. I know who you are, Achilles, and I now know what you are. I too am not afraid of you. I too will not bow to you. Finish me off like you did that old man. It will be easier, for I carry no weapons.
She is mine. See that no one claims her.